So you...
And there doesn't need to be any dastardly action in this. This is something that needs to be, I was going to say, pure.
Well, in my view, and we've had this conversation...
which makes me the totally wrong person to do what I've done.
Well, I think it's a wonderful irony here.
Yeah.
At an early stage, you did tell me that it had always been expected that you would do something like this.
And you're a very high-up individual has intimated that to me, that I'm only doing what I would have done.
Yes.
That was the phrase that was used.
In other words, putting my own words on this, you are actually a purist showing his true colours at last, even though you were given the direction by the other camp.
Okay. Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, you're explaining it to me more succinctly than I could explain it to you.
Well,
so it's good because it means that you've got what I'm saying.
I believe I've got...
You have definitely, yeah. And that's good because it draws a line under it for me. I can start diminishing my involvement now.
Yeah, right. And just to sort of help to wrap that up, you are actually allowing this to play out in a way that is interesting to everybody, because actually nobody really knows what's going to happen next.
No.
Nobody knows what's going to happen next.
No one does.
Except that it's a fairer contest than it was before. I don't want to use the word fight, because I'm not into fighting.
It's not a fight.
It's not a fight.
It's, you know, a river running downhill is rapid at one point and very calm and slowly. That's not a fight, is it?
Yes.
It's just what happens.
It's sort of energy finding a resolution.
Yeah. And fast, but sometimes it moves along slowly.
Yes.
You know, when it's moving fast, is that a fight? No, it's just a different momentum.
Yeah.
So no, there's not a fight.
Yeah. It's situations finding a natural resolution of some kind.
That's a much better way of putting it.
Yeah. And so, what you want to see, this is a question. What you want to see and what's motivating you is you want to see things find a good natural resolution. And actually, there are several times when you've told me off record, off camera, that you don't think I stand a chance.
No, I still don't.
But you're still willing to give me my musket or my lance or whatever like that, so that I can do something.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then, you know, may the best man win and all the rest of it, but you reckon I'm probably outgunned.
I know you are.
Metaphorically speaking, outgunned. Yeah. Okay. All right. Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that is... And you say that I would be interested. I'm not going to be around. So you've got to temper that with a little...
Yes.
You know, how interested could I really be?
When you say not going to be around, this is reminding people watching this is because you're terminally ill.
That's right, yeah.
Right. Do you know how long you've got?
2 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, you know exactly where these things have been done. Yeah. But you know, people have said to me, you know, you're quite resilient, so you could say maybe 3, maybe 4. But you know, that's where it goes for me. And it also might be a point to me that I know, obviously, because I got my back to the camera, it's pretty obvious that there is no stardom value in this for me. Far from it. I want nothing to do with that. And this is probably going to be one of the only videos you're ever going to have of me.
Oh, well,
you know, we'll see what goes, but...
Given that the future is unpredictable...
The only reason there'll be another one is because something wasn't clarified.
Okay.
Not because I want to do another one.
I understand that.
That's your job.
Yes. I understand that. Okay. Do you think you will get into trouble for doing this video? For making this video with me?
I would have yesterday, but not today.
Not today?
Because you've decided to do it.
Because I decided to do it. And I say this half in jest, but only half... What's the difference between that and passing the buck?
Very little. Very little.
Okay.
Delegation, I prefer.
Okay. But you're kind of saying that in this natural process you've been describing, if I'm taking the risk on my own shoulders, taking responsibility for it, then that's part of this fair contest, which you want to encourage. Yeah. And
there are going to be individuals, the original individuals that set me to you, that are going to make it unfair for you. Again, you can honestly understand that if they've done that once, they will do that again. Yes. All right? Yes. And while I'm still around, you won't have any problems.
Right.
That's going to be the level of my involvement from that on. That's it.
Okay. Are you giving me your word on that?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm looking at this guy in the eye. Yeah. Okay. That's very cool. And I didn't mean that in a flippant way, by the way. Yeah. But I do appreciate that. And this is something that you have warned me about many times, actually. And this is something that I appreciate because...
well, it's getting quite sticky at the moment, isn't it?
Things are getting...
Yeah, I mean...
Things are getting interesting. Let's say the stakes are getting... I mean, the chips are piling up on the table.
The man in the street is uneasy. He doesn't know why he's uneasy. He knows there's a monster coming, but doesn't even know what it is.
Yes. Okay, good. Cue the monster. What is this monster we're talking about here? Your words, not mine.
Okay. Let's look at the as you use I'm going to use for your term bloodline.
Right.
Let's say the 33 bloodlines of the monster.
That's not a word that I'm not wanting to use that terminology.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about the monster in regards to what's going to happen.
Yes, that's what I thought you meant.
Right, okay.
I'm not talking about anybody as being monstrous. That's
right,
not
okay,
that's not what I'm doing.
So help me out here.
Yeah. What you were saying? What
are you asking me?
Okay. What you were saying was the man in the street is getting uneasy because they sense that there's a monster coming. Yeah. Those were your words.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And by monster I mean, maybe I've used the wrong word actually. By monster I mean the situation is changing. And when anyone's situation changes, it makes them uneasy, doesn't it?
Yes.
Financially, for instance.
Yes.
You know, you've got 10 grand in your bank account on Monday.
Yeah.
Someone commits fraud on you on Wednesday, and on Friday someone is making an injunction on your house.
Yes.
You know, you're not as happy as you were on Monday.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what's coming, that kind of thing.
Yes. So financial instability.
Well, some people. I mean, we're not telling anyone anything they don't already know. We're already there's already been financial tinkering. Perhaps let me put this. You know,
yes.
We're on a globe. Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and we've got an atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah, and money can't fly.
Right.
Right. So where's it
all gone? Right.
Someone's got it back.
Yeah. You can't have everyone in the world going bankrupt.
If you are, yeah, exactly. If everyone else in the world went bankrupt, well, who decided that, and who's got that money? Where is it kept after that?
It's like having a casino with no chips. It's like, wait a minute, who's got the chips?
Yeah,
someone's got.
Who won them all?
Yeah,
and they're at his house.
Yes, or actually they're in the bank.
There you go.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
and very roughly, it's far more complicated than that. But if you basically pull the finger out of the dike, that's what they've done, and that's how they control finances. There isn't someone at the stock exchange who makes a phone call, and there is no plan. It is these individuals are so powerful, and I mean powerful, not rich. They're so powerful because of their wealth that when they remove that wealth from any area, that area collapses.
Right.
And if you want to put, and the world is an area.
Yeah.
But then we get on to the subject of money. Money is a control system. It's nothing to do with money. It's not. Money is nothing. It's no more important than pigeons. It's just it's something that it's a machine.
Yes.
For picking people out.
Yes. I understand that, and I think a lot of people watching this will be aware of this.
The more paper you get together, and by that I mean money.
Yes.
To do that, you have to be a type of individual. Do you want to go this way?
Go on.
To do that, you have to be. If you're, depending on what field you're in, you know. Let's say you're particularly good at acting, and you haven't been discovered, and you land a plum role, and you are paid £2 million to do it, and then you go and invest that £2 million rather than go and buy yourself a house and live the life. You go and invest that in a business, and that nets you £14 million.
Yeah.
And then you invest that, and then you get another role.
Yeah.
This will be noticed, and as your accumulation gets to a point, you will be approached.
Yes.
And the reason you'll be approached is because to get that kind of money together, everyone in the street will tell you you're not a nice guy. You don't get that way by being a nice guy. You can get inherited money and be a nice guy, and you won't have it very long.
Or you could be very, very smart. You don't have to play dirty to get money, do you?
Yes, you do.
You do?
Yeah, I think you do, yeah. Okay. And that's a personal opinion, and it's also... and that is a fact. It's my personal opinion, but it's also a fact. If you want to hang on your money, you're going to have to develop a thicker skin. And in developing that thicker skin, you will understand what they are going to explain to you.
Okay.
It will make you susceptible. You have to.
Okay.
Or just give your money away.
Okay.
Which is never going to happen. Because why would you try to accumulate it in the first place?
Yes, right.
You could put a word on it and say greed, but it's far more complex than that.
Okay.
Insecurity. People, look at me, I came from a very weak background, and I can assure you that getting money together was a way of increasing my security.
Yes.
So that wasn't greed.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So it's a system. And you can look at actors, athletes, businessmen, any walk of life. They are judged on what?
Well, certainly one of the things people are judged on.
All right, their particular talent. Let's put that to one side.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Their particular talent.
Yeah, okay, right.
Is obviously, that's how they get their fame.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so let's put that to one side.
Yeah.
The very next, anyone that matters. Let's put it that way. Anyone that matters to that individual will judge them on how much money they're making.
Yes.
And that's literally, if you're today's cheese, you're great. I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
If you're 3 day old, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because you've run out of money.
I understand that.
Money goes to money. You heard that saying before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is one way in which, as we said just 5 minutes ago, this is what the man in the street, the person in the street, is becoming concerned about, because there are financial games being played of all kinds, and they're taking the chips back off the table and so on. So people are saying, hey, where all the chips have gone, etc. What else is happening? That's sort of old news.
Yeah, exactly.
As you said, that's sort of old
everyone
news.
Knows. Yeah.
And that's something that's been happening for a little while now.
Yeah.
But what's coming at us? What changes might we see in the world, on the planet, in the next few years? A lot of people really want to know that. Can you tell us anything about that? Either what you think, what you've heard, or what you know.
Well, the first thing to say about that is really important is there is no 2012, still rubbish. Complete rubbish, all of it. And I don't mean that to upset people. I know they understand and believe what they believe, and I know they've got what they call evidence, but they're basing their evidence on an education that was complete nonsense in the first place.
Yes, and there's been a lot of disinformation that's been injected into the alternative community to provide people a way of chasing their tails forever and not looking at the real issues.
And then you've got the media. Right? A car crash is far more interesting than the motorway with everything happening fine.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. You see what I mean by that? If there's an opponent, the whole thing's easy, much more interesting, and it keeps you looking that way.
Yes. Okay.
So they're very happy for if I can say people like you, and I don't mean it in that way, but you know what I mean. The alternative media.
Yes.
They're very happy for you to do what you're doing.
To be talking up the esoteric significance of 2012.
Yeah, the crazier the story, the more rolls of laughter are heard.
Okay.
And they have been watched.
Yes. Right.
Over cigars and whiskey. I've seen them roll with laughter over things. Because sometimes you get things right.
Mm-hmm. What, you mean like a lucky hit?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, in the public domain, quite often, really, if you could piece it all together, it's all there. And individuals have got it right on the money in the total wrong context.
Okay.
So that is very funny.
Yes.
From this point of view.
Okay. So what you're kind of describing is that all of this, to some degree, is being regarded as, sometimes it's regarded as entertainment. It's just like, look at what
you guys are regarded as entertainment. Yeah, that's a very fair comment.
Yeah. Look at what this Twitter is saying.
Because they don't consider you a threat.
Right.
Well, not you, I say you, the alternative media.
Yes.
Not you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What you don't want is anyone being taken seriously. What you don't want is someone who's going to coherently put an argument together, is willing to listen to the discourse and come back with a different version, adapted, because that's dialogue and that's productive. They don't want that. Okay.
They want a guy with his hair tied up in ponytails with a white line painted across his face, doing an Indian rain dance, and then trying to tell you something about what's going to happen in 2012. They want that.
Yes, and because the spirits are telling him.
Yeah. He's got tinfoil on his head. Great guy, we like him.
Okay.